Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Kaiju, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hey, hello there, collectors. It is Steven here, and I am back with another effect parts video for you. Why? Because I am an effect part guru by this point with so many that I have. And something that I keep seeing in different Facebook groups and I keep getting emails and comments about and messages and so on and so forth is, hey, Steven, where did you get this effect part? What would be the best effect part for this? And to be honest with you, there are certain effect parts that people keep asking about. And there are some effect parts that I'm really big fans of that you keep seeing me use again and again throughout my various reviews. And Dragon Ball characters really need those effect parts because either Bandai's lacking with supplying us with them, or maybe they just don't look that good. So if you're watching this video, you obviously love effect parts too, and maybe you need a little bit of help getting pushed in the right direction for which ones you need for yourself. So this video is about the top 5 effect parts you need for your Dragon Ball Figuarts display. So without further ado, let's get into the list and look at number 5. For the 5th spot on your effect part list, I actually had a hard time determining what would be number 5 and what would be number 4, but I felt this would be the most appropriate, and that would be the Tamashii Aura effects you see in front of you, both blue and yellow. Now, something to take note of, that there were 2 limited releases from Bandai for the Aura effects. One being the white effect, which was a part of the Dragon Ball Tour exclusives, so if you missed out on that, well, sorry about that. And then there is a red version which comes with the Kaioken exclusive Goku Figuarts release from the Tamashii World Tour and from SDCC for 1 year. So, effectively, unless you got some money, you're not really going to be able to get your hands on those. But anyway, these are the 2 that are available at retail, which will always be possible for reissue, unlike those other 2. So, enough about that. Let's look at these. Why do I add these onto the list? Well, first and foremost, if you know about these effect parts, you know that they have been promoted alongside some of the Dragon Ball Figuarts, whether or not it's going to be for a Super Saiyan Blue Figuarts or for just simply going Super Saiyan, and you can definitely see that the quality on these guys are actually pretty solid. For the yellow one in specific, it's not just yellow. We start at the center, which is kind of clear. We move up into a nice neon coloration, and then at the tips, we have orange, which is really fantastic. The back really just has some detailing, but, you know, it is what it is. And then, of course, for the blue one, we start off with, obviously, the clear. We go up to more intense blue, and then we move to more so of a purple color. Now, one of the drawbacks that I have for these is that a lot of people report these simply being sticky, and just from being in storage, you can definitely see that there are some flaws there. Yep, and that's great. This can be corrected. It's a little bit of an issue, but you know, for about $15 you can get them for, easy peasy. Not that huge of a deal. Now, the reason why I rank these so low, despite the fact that these have pretty much been promoted hand in hand with the Figuarts proper for Dragon Ball stuff, is that realistically speaking, if you have them on display, they kind of look flat. They don't necessarily look super dynamic unless you have them in the background of a picture with some other stuff going on. These aren't going to be the centerfold effect pieces like a Kamehameha effect or maybe even an explosion, but they do enhance your display quality just enough to be worth the purchase. Number 4, which again, I had a hard time deciding what would be 4 or 5 on the list, would be the Tamashii Effect Impact, normally coming in either gray or beige here, but there is an exclusive release that was for a Tamashii Nation event, Nation, not Nations, that was the Magma version. I do have a custom version of that made by Justin's Bitchin' Customs, which looks great, but we're not going to be taking a look at that because it's not an official product here. So with these 2 here, the reason why I selected these is that I think these are in the same category as the Aura effects. Let's just take a quick look at them real quick so you can see that the quality on these guys are really cool. It has fantastic washing to them, so this way you can see all the cracks and crevices are black on this one. Looks really great, looks like real destroyed earth. And then for the gray one, not necessarily as much here to bring out, but you know what, this looks great for just a normal battle arena here, or let's say a character is getting thrown to the ground and destroyed. This will fit the bill perfectly on that, and that is exactly why I picked these just a little higher than the Aura effects. Why? Because these are what I would consider environmental option parts for your character. So if you're looking to really enhance your display, maybe you want to have have a rocky range for Goku and Vegeta to fight each other, these are going to be the greatest effect parts for you to have, so this way you can put them along the bottom of the picture when you're framing, and it looks just like it came out of the anime, or the manga if you want it to. Now to give you a quick rundown of these effect parts here, the middle part pops out, and then you can break them apart. So that is how I get them in some pictures to look like a nice battle arena across the bottom of the picture. Maybe this will pop out. You just kind of lay them out like that, and it looks great. So if you're going to put these on your display shelf, they'll look fantastic alongside some of your other effects. And you know what? Maybe if you wanted to pair it up with an aura right there in the middle or something, it'd look great too. So at number 4, we do have the Tamashii Effect Impact, and I do recommend picking a couple of these up. They go for around 20 bucks in the aftermarket. Not going to hurt your wallet too much. I've got 2 of these and 1 of those. Moving on into number 3 here, we have the Tamashii Effect Thunder. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It comes in both yellow and blue. Now, why does this deserve the 3rd spot? Well, the previous 2 effect parts work fantastic for environmental displays, whether or not it's just going to be in the background of a character powering up. Maybe it's going to be the actual battlefield where 2 characters are throwing down. But you see here, this is where we have a mix of the 2 for both environmental and for an actual attack, or to improve your power-up display. So the thunder effects officially come in both yellow and blue, like you're seeing in front of you. Be careful when you're buying them. These are popular, and maybe some sellers from China are going to sell you the non-official versions, okay? Okay, so what am I talking about with effects? What am I talking about with power-ups? Well, you see, when you buy one of these thunder effect parts, you get 3 little pieces here that can wrap around your character's wrists, wrap around their ankles, other effect parts that you might have, and make it look like they're either firing off lightning or maybe power is being drawn to them, which looks really cool. Again, both yellow and blue looks fantastic here, which is great. And then what's also cool, we'll just take a look at the yellow one here. We do have a nice display here, which looks really cool, a nice big old lightning bolt that has a hole in the bottom for Tamashii Stage Act supports. If you wanted to do that, you wanted to plug in a stand here like Vegeta firing off, his Final Flash. That's right, we get a Final Flash effect part. You can actually pop that off, and then we just get this part here. So if you wanted a more concentrated Final Flash or whatever, or maybe another character, Masenko effect, you know, maybe Tien for the Tri-Beam, maybe that's what you want to do. And then this little tip up here also comes off too, so that's pretty cool. And then you also just have that normal display base, which is awesome as well. The blue one does the exact same thing. So overall, I do believe claiming the 3rd spot would be the Tamashii Effect Thunder is very appropriate, because not only can you just have this maybe as a summoning spell or whatever for Shenron, but you can also use it for Vegeta's Final Flash or whatever else your imagination calls for. So Tamashii Effect Thunder at number 3. Number 2 is the king of the Bandai Tamashii Nation's effect parts, and that would be the Flame. Chances are you have seen every action figure Instagram account, Twitter account, reviewer, it doesn't matter. If you've seen action figure pictures, you have seen these at least a dozen times, and for good reason too. They can double as flame, they can double as water, as aura. They go the mile, and that is why they deserve the number 2 spot. So what exactly do you get when you purchase these? Well, officially they come in red and they come in blue. Now there was a dark purple one that was released at a Tamashii Nation event, and then I do believe it was the Figuarts Doctor Strange that came with a yellow one, so if you want to get Doctor Strange you can get that. And then again, just like the Lightning, be careful buying these, because you may or may not find other colors from Chinese sellers that are not selling the official product, but then they also do sell these in the same color. Just be on the lookout for unofficial product, if that bothers you. Anyway, again, what do we get with these? Well, we do get this smaller flame part here. I say smaller because you can just, oh, look at that, detach it, and now we have a small base. And then you just pop this bad boy back in, and now we have something that maybe Nappa is shooting up. Oh, that too small for you? Well, then how about this rather large one that's sort of like a pillar of fire? That is fantastic here. That's really cool. And then we just have this little wave one here, which is really nice. Now, the only unfortunate thing about this one is that this one is sort of swooping from left to right. We don't have an effect part here that replicates from right to left, which is a shame, but it is what it is. What's also really cool about this whole set that we get here is we do also get 4 parts, 2 left and 2 right focused, so this way we can put them on our character's wrists or ankles or other effect parts to make it look like flames are coming off of them, or maybe it's aura, or maybe it's water. So if you wanted to show Goku charging up to Super Saiyan God, or maybe Vegeta going Super Saiyan Blue, or even Goku going Super Saiyan Blue, or anything else, these effect parts are fantastic. And what's even better is you can couple these with other effects that you have, like let's say the Tamashii effect impact or the auras, so this way you can really make it look like a character is going all out. Maybe Vegeta has finally reached his limit breaker, and now he is going to pack Jiren in. Maybe? Nah, that's not going to happen. That never happened. But anyway, the second spot goes to the Tamashii Flame effect, which I cannot recommend enough. Standard retail is about $25, but if you want to get the official ones, they shot up in the aftermarket. So if these effect parts are number 2 on the list, what's number 1? Number 1 on the list of the top 5 essential Dragon Ball Figuarts effect parts would be from Obitsu, not Bandai. Why is that? Well, you can clearly see why in front of you. These are awesome. These are the Obitsu effects. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Dogyan. Dogyan? D-O-G-Y-A-A-N. However that's pronounced, but we're just going to go ahead and call them energy blasts. Now, what is so cool about these? There's one drawback that I'm going to talk about a little bit, but let's focus on what's really cool. So first and foremost, as you can see, this is clearly a Kamehameha. As I drop it, really, it looks cool. Nice coloration there. It even fades off to a clear coloration right here, and then it goes back to a nice strong blue. If you even take a look at it from a distance, may not necessarily show up as much on the camera, but this is sort of a faded blue, while this is a more intense blue in real life. And then we have the pink one here, which even has more of a clear spot right here before it fades into the larger bulb here for the effect blast. Now, something to take note of, yeah, we do have blue, yeah, we do have pink. There's also a yellow one that I didn't buy. I need to get on that, because that would be really cool for a generic blast. Anyway, so yes, we do have 2 really neat blast parts here, which you gotta buy. So they're just blasts, right? They're just these big ones. That's all that they got. Yeah, that's something that I actually really haven't shown yet in any of my reviews, because I just haven't found a need for them. They can separate at the 2 different tips, so this way you can have one large blast effect part and one small one. So if you needed just a couple of generic blast parts, you can get these, and the best part is they're only about $10 if you get them from an import site, or you find them really cheap on eBay or whatnot. So this is really cool. And then also, if you really wanted to, you can pop the little tips off there, and if you have a finger light or whatnot, you just want to stick in there, so this way you can light it up. That is something you can do. So an LED effect, that is something totally doable. And then here's what the main shaft looks like without either of those parts. And what's also really cool, if you really wanted to try something unique for your display, you can kind of do this, which I've tried for a couple of pictures. I haven't got it to look quite right. Let's fix this up here. Yeah, that's pretty neat too. That is pretty neat. So you get a little bit of customizability here. So you can get one large effect part that looks like the Kamehameha, or you can get a couple of smaller generic key blasts. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the pink one real quick to see what that looks like when you separate them for you guys. So yeah, obviously these Obitsu effect parts are fantastic, and I do have to say that if you really want to go hardcore with your Dragon Ball effect parts for your Figuarts, these are absolute must-haves. They're much better than the official Bandai Kamehamehas released with Cell, with the upcoming Kid Krillin, and probably anything else that they can release. So if you want to stock up on these, I'd recommend doing so sooner rather than later, because these tend to go out of production, and You don't want to pay absurd prices on the aftermarket. Oh, that's right. I've been singing the praises of these, and there was that one downfall. How exactly do you use these? Well, in the promotional pictures, Obitsu showed that there was a stand that went with these. There is not, in fact, a stand. So how exactly have you seen me use them? Because you've definitely seen me use a stand. Let me find it here. Yeah, so what I had to do was take a knife and poke a hole in it. Yep. And then you just kind of plug the Tamashii stage arm in there. Just like that. And voila. Just straighten it out. Yeah, so that is the big drawback. You're going to have to damage these if you want to use a stand with them. And that about wraps it up for this video, showing you the top 5 best effect parts for your SH Figuarts Dragon Ball displays. So as you can clearly see, as long as you use them in a whole bunch of different combinations, you are going to set the scene for people to look at, give you that like on Instagram, that favorite on Twitter, or whatever the kids are doing these days, and will definitely catch eyes as people walk across the room and see your display. So definitely remember that effect parts really do make the shelf pop. Now, of course, there are plenty of other effect parts that are out there on the market, including some other Tamashii effect ones, other Obitsu ones, LBX effects, even Figuarts effects. So if you're interested in learning about the wide world of effect parts, I've got a nice guide for you that should be popping up in the top right-hand corner of the screen as a card. Go ahead and click or tap on that, so this way I can show you some other effects. Now, just so I know y'all made it to the end of this video, I'd like to know what your favorite effect part is. So in the comment section down below, use hashtag DBZEffect and tell me your favorite effect part to use in your Dragon Ball display or any other display. And also, do you agree with my top 5? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Let's talk about it again in the comments down below. Now we've pretty much reached the very end of this video, the last 20 or so seconds, so the end card should be popping up. That'll take you to some other videos that I have and other ways you can help out the channel. And as always, there will be links in the description down below so you can pick up these effect parts or others like them. Thanks again, everyone, so much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video.